talk to me about DJ Premier. How did that come about? And, I see the smile on your face already, just like, thinking about it. For me, it would be a dream come true, but talk to me about that
Yeah.
experience.
So yeah, the DJ Premier thing, man, it was like a diamond in the rough type of situation. It was like a good thing that came out of a really, really bad situation. So how that all came about was last year in 2020, around the end of June. um, I entered into a recording agreement with a small independent label out of Texas. And kind of the way that they kind of sold me on it was that the guy who approached me was actually a friend of DJ Premier's. He had went to college with him, and he was like a background dancer in Gangstar. So him and DJ Premier have a close relationship, and he was like, "Yeah, I know DJ Premier, and we have a really close relationship, and your sound is, something that he'll love, and this that, and the third." And he was like, "We're a small label, we're looking for artists, but we built a lot of connections, and this that, and the third." And so that was kind of like around the time I was graduating from college, and it was like mid-pandemic, so everything was just really crazy. Like I was looking for a job, and but it was like this felt like it came at the right time, so it was almost like I just felt like I couldn't pass up on it. um so I said, okay, yeah, I was like, okay, let's do it, so let's work. And so I signed with them, started working with them, and about around October, late October, I was putting together an EP, which is the EP that I'm kind of selling vinyls and stuff for now, from beginning to end and to new beginnings. Which that project is kind of a it's kind of like a baby of my album. That so I was putting together an album, and in the course of putting together an album, they wanted me to do an EP. So those 6 songs that I put together on the EP were actually songs and concepts that I pulled from my album, and instead made kind of like a smaller, like a baby version of the album. And so that's kind of what that that's kind of where that came from. And so around October 28th, uh, no, actually, it was earlier than that, I believe, but it was like October 20 something. One of those weekends, we went up to New York. They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to New York. We're gonna have this listening party for all the artists, and DJ Premier is gonna be there." I was like, "Oh shit, okay." So he was like, so they were like, "Yeah, and, like, we want you to pick out, your best songs, perform a few songs off the EP. We think DJ Premier really like them." So I was like, "All right, cool." Uh, so I had four. It was, I believe, yeah, I had 4 songs, or 4 songs put together that I was gonna perform, and 3 of them were from the EP. And so we got to New York that weekend, and the listening party was going on. And so while we're all kind of just hanging out in the studio, uh, DJ Premier walks in the room, and the whole room just kind of freezes. Like everybody just kind of stops. Right? It's like there was like music playing before we were in a freestyling, and then everybody just kind of stops. And I was like, "Yo, what happened? Why y'all cut the music off?" And one guy was like, "DJ Premier just walked in the room." And I looked over, and all I see is DJ Premier, hat hat low, like right above right here. And he just kind of walks in the room, just kind of like walked into a crowd. And in that moment, I was like, "Yo, I cannot believe this is happening right now. Like I'm really about to rap in front of DJ Premier." And so it was crazy. And so like the first couple of artists, they go up and they do their performances and perform their songs. And so I had one song that I I made specifically for that occasion. And I didn't like make it for the occasion. The song was kind of made before I knew that was gonna happen. But once I knew it was gonna happen, I was like, I have to perform the song. And the song is called Hype is Life, which is kind of like flip on Nas's like. So so I had that song. Once I knew it was going up there, I was like, okay, I have to perform the song. And so I did my first few songs, and then once it came time to perform that song, I was like, yo, Premier, I have a really special song that I want to perform for you. I hope you like it. It's a kind of a flip on one of your classics from you and Nas, and you know, I really hope you enjoy it. And so I just kind of went into it, and I'm performing. And so the whole time I'm performing, there's other people there. So I'm making sure I'm performing for everybody. And so I don't really get to like see DJ Premier's reaction. But somebody was recording him, and then at the end he was just like, man, you're gonna make me cry. He was like, man, you got bars, man. You spit straight bars. And I was like, man, thank you, man. Like, I really appreciate it. And yeah, and when I got a chance to go back later and watch the video, like the whole time he was just like just bobbing. He was just like sitting back in the seat, the hat is low, and he's just like just bobbing his head, and it was just like, man, like this is really a crazy moment. And then from there, it was crazy because from there, for like the next 5 weeks, he played that song on his Sirius XM show every week. He spun the song for like 5 weeks, and man, it was crazy. Like, and this was before the EP even came out, and people were like looking for the song. People were like hitting me up, and he posted a video on his page of him spinning the song. Um, and I just got like crazy people in my DMs like, "Yo, where's this song at? I can't find it on Spotify." I was like, "Man, the song hasn't even come out yet." Like, like that was like an exclusive leak from DJ Premier. But man, it was crazy, and I got to take a couple pictures with him, and all that, and it was just really a great experience, getting um, to meet one of my heroes in this, in this whole hip hop thing, because I'm really a fan of his production. I'm really like a fan of everything that he's done, and like I said, and unfortunately the situation with the record label just kind of went sour and really went south real bad, and really quickly. Um, and so I've never really got a chance to work with Premier. I haven't really got a chance to work with him or like to really speak to him since then. But that was still just like such a moment for me. And I think that kind of like provided a moment of clarity for me. Like, dang, like I've really just had one of the greatest like people in hip hop of like all time just telling me like, yo, like I got bars, like, something that I did a flip on one of his classics, and like he was really rocking with it. And to me, that was one of those moments where I was like, man, I just got to keep going. Like, no matter what happens from here, like, I just have to keep going. Like, I can't stop. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, then like I said, shortly after that, like things just went really bad with the record label, and they tried to like get me to stop doing music, and was trying to pull all kinds of stuff on me. Which, thankfully, I mean, I've fought all that and still fighting, but it's just, yeah, I was just really grateful for that moment, if nothing else, it was just like the shining moment in that whole situation. And, if they didn't do anything else for me, I will give them credit for doing that and for putting me in front of DJ Premier, but yeah, it's just I don't even know what else to say, man. It's just like